Today, we're going to dive into a world that is burrowed deep into our collective imagination, a world that's become a kind of shorthand for our biggest fears about government, technology, and truth. We're talking about George Orwell's chilling masterpiece, 1984.
Right from the very first line, you know something is deeply wrong. A bright, cold day, that's a weird contradiction. And clock striking 13? It's our first clue that the very fabric of reality in this world has been twisted and broken.
So we're dropped into this place called Oceania. It's a superstate where everything is just gray. Even the sun doesn't seem to do its job. And our guide through this bleakness is Winston Smith. He's this frail guy stuck in the standard blue uniform of the party, just another cog in a giant soul-crushing machine.
So, how does the party keep its iron grip on everyone? Well, it's all about total 24/7 surveillance. There's this thing called a telescreen in your home that sees and hears everything you do. It never, ever turns off. And at any given moment, the thought police could be on the other end, watching you. You have to live your life assuming that every sound you make is heard and every move you make is scrutinized. Your own mind becomes your own prison. But watching your every move is really just the beginning. The party's real genius, its true source of power, isn't just controlling what you do, it's controlling reality itself. And the key to that? Well, it's all about controlling the past. The whole government is built on this foundation of just brutal irony. You've got the Ministry of Peace, which of course does nothing but wage perpetual war. The Ministry of Plenty oversees constant shortages and rationing. The Ministry of Love, that's the place you're taken to be tortured. And the Ministry of Truth, where our guy Winston works, is basically a factory that churns out lies.
So this is Winston's 9 to 5. An order shoots down a tube to his desk. Maybe Big Brother had promised the chocolate ration would never be cut, but oops, it was. So Winston's job is to go back, rewrite the old news report, and make it look like Big Brother only warned a cut might be necessary. Then the original document gets tossed down the memory hole and is instantly incinerated. Poof, the lie is now the truth. It never happened any other way.
So you have to be wondering, how can people just live with this? With reality changing from one day to the next? Well, there's a psychological tool for that. It's called doublethink. It's this incredible mental gymnastics where you know, deep down, that the party is lying and changing the past, but at the same time, you genuinely believe that the party is infallible and the past is unchangeable. It's the engine that makes the whole system run.
And this absolute control over history, over facts, it leads to something even more terrifying. See, it's not enough to control what happened yesterday. The party's ultimate goal is to control what you were thinking in this very second.
One of the ways they do this is with a daily ritual called the 2 minutes hate. For 120 seconds, everyone gathers and is forced to watch a film of the ultimate enemy of the state, this guy, Emmanuel Goldstein. And people just work themselves into this absolute frenzy of rage and fear. It's a brilliant move, really. It takes all of their daily frustrations, the bad food, the poverty, the fear, and challenges it away from the party and onto this single manufactured enemy.
But the party's real long-term project, their master plan for mind control, is something called Newspeak. It's a whole new language they're designing, and its only purpose is to shrink the dictionary. They're getting rid of words, especially words that express complex ideas or rebellious ones. Think about it. How can you even think about the concept of freedom if the word itself no longer exists?
Winston's colleague, a guy named Syme, who is a specialist working on the Newspeak dictionary, lays out the goal in the most chilling way possible. He says the whole point is to make thought crime literally impossible, because there will be no words left to express a rebellious thought. The perfect party member won't even have to think. Orthodoxy will just be instinct, unconsciousness. But even in a world this oppressive, this perfectly controlled, there's something about the human spirit that just refuses to be completely stamped out. And deep inside Winston Smith, a tiny, almost hopeless little spark of rebellion starts to glow.
It all kicks off with something so small. He illegally buys a diary. Now, in a world where your private thoughts are the ultimate crime, this simple act of writing down his true feelings, scrawling "down with Big Brother" over and over, that's not just rebellion. That's a declaration of war. That's a death sentence.
And from that one act, Winston's rebellion just snowballs. He starts a secret, forbidden affair with a woman named Julia. And for them, it's not just about love or desire. It's a political act, a blow against the party's sterile anti-pleasure ideology.
Together, they start searching for the Brotherhood, this rumored underground resistance, and this search leads them to O'Brien, a powerful inter-party member who they desperately believe is a secret ally, one of them.
But this desperate gamble, this tiny flicker of hope, leads Winston and Julia directly into the very heart of the system they're trying to destroy, and it's there that they face a final, horrifying revelation about why the party does what it does.
Of course they get caught, and in the dreaded Ministry of Love, Winston comes face to face with his tormentor. And it's O'Brien, the man he thought was his ally, his only hope. The entire rebellion was a sham, a trap, perfectly designed by the very people he was trying to overthrow. As O'Brien tortures and re-educates him, Winston keeps asking the one question that's eating him alive. Why? What's the point of all this? Is it for some greater good? A future utopia? Why does the party want power so badly?
And O'Brien's answer is the absolute ice-cold heart of the entire book. There is no greater good. The party isn't a means to an end. Power is the end. The goal isn't wealth or happiness or a better world. The goal is simply power for its own sake forever. And, he explains, the ultimate expression of power is making other people suffer.
So after they've broken Winston's body and systematically taken apart his mind, there's only one last step. They have to break his spirit. And that happens in Room 101. Room 101, O'Brien tells him, contains the worst thing in the world. And the worst thing in the world is different for everyone. For Winston, it's rats. And when he is faced with a cage of starving rats about to be strapped to his face, that last little shred of his humanity just snaps. He screams the only thing that can possibly save him. Do it to Julia, not me. And in that instant, he betrays everything. He betrays his love, his loyalty, the one thing that was truly his. It's over.
And with that betrayal, his re-education is finally complete. The novel ends with Winston, just an empty shell of a man, sitting in a cafe, tracing 2 + 2 = 5 in the dust on a table. He feels this wave of calm, of blissful acceptance. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother.
So Orwell leaves us with this terrifying warning about just how fragile truth and reality can be. If a power can control the past and control the words we use to think, what defense do we possibly have? How do we hold on to our humanity when reality itself is under constant assault? It was a terrifying question back in 1949, and you know what? It feels more urgent right now than ever before.